I want to ask you about the chamber. For entrepreneurs, what is the inboarding process? Like, let's say, okay, I'm an entrepreneur, because the point of the Chamber of Commerce is it's a networking organization, right? Like, you get to go to meetings and you get to meet other people in different areas. So let's say I'm in banking, right? I get to meet somebody who's in insurance. I get to meet somebody who's in investing. I get to meet. So now, me as a that's why I used to go, because as a financial advisor, these chamber, they like I had it was like local chambers, and they have meetings, and they only let like one person in per industry at that meeting at the local chamber level. So it'd be like one insurance guy, one investing guy, one CPA, and then you all kind of network with each other. Okay, I'll give you clients, you give me clients, opportunities and stuff like that. So what's the onboarding process for entrepreneurs to get into a chamber commerce, and what's best practices for them to get the best results out of the chamber?
Yeah, I mean, you raise a good point. I mean, I think there's a value if you're a local business to being connected to that local chamber. These are all three different levels of membership and engagement. Same with the state chamber. I mean, if you're really trying to do business statewide in a given state, I would suggest you really should be involved in the state chamber of commerce where you live. But if you really want to do business, think of us again as the national organization that's engaging corporations that's engaging opportunities abroad across the world, then the U.S. Chamber is a place that you should think about membership. And you can go to each of these. I mean, go to uschamber.com, and I think there's a link there that can direct you to one of our membership officers. And it's based on what your interests are. They'll talk with you. Are you interested in tech? Are you interested in exporting? Are you interested in cyber? They'll talk with you about your revenue and your growth strategy, and trying to make sure that your experience as a member is rewarding and beneficial for you as a member company. But again, I just can't emphasize the value of the ability to meet individuals, to meet companies, to meet global leaders. I'll give you an example of a brother whose name you will recognize, Isaiah Thomas, who's a very dear friend. I'm talking about the old Isaiah.
The younger one or the older one?
The older one.
You're talking about Zeke.
Okay.
Come on, Zeke.
Yeah, but Zeke, man, people don't know about Zeke. I only use this as an example, but he has everything from Sherilyn Champagne. He's in real estate, but he's also doing a lot of business in the country of Colombia. And so I brought him in. He's a member of the chamber. He's a member of the International Division. He's now had a pleasure to meet with the president of Colombia and get to know all of those government officials and other private sector partners who are good for his business in Colombia. And so I get my point in saying that, and there are others, but I only use him as an example, is you have to think about what you want from these organizations. And there are more organizations that you can have a membership in. But I think you need to think about what you want in return and the value of a membership and being in the chamber to help you reach your business goals.
And I just want real quick, because I just want to hammer this point down, because so as a business owner, you're up against a lot to be successful. As a Black business owner, you're up against even more to be successful, right? So we talk about networking and relationships and stuff like that a lot, but people don't like what does that mean? How do I build relationships? How do I get in front of the right people? So this is something that, this is, like you said, there's other organizations, but the Chamber of Commerce is one organization as a business owner that you can actually join. And now you can actually go to different events. And like you said, you get what you put into it, right? So if you join and you're just a ghost member, you never do anything, then you're not going to get anything out of it. But if you're active and maybe you work your way up the ranks, right, and you meet this person, meet that person, you have to put yourself in positions to win. So this is something that's extremely beneficial for entrepreneurs to build their network and to meet people and to cultivate relationships, because ultimately that's going to get you into the next door. So I just wanted to kind of hammer that point home for people that might not fully understand the importance of it. That's the reason why an organization like the Chamber of Commerce is important, and why you as a business owner should be looking at any type of organization that you can to be active, to add value, to meet people, to, be a treasurer, whatever you can be to kind of move up the ranks, because ultimately that's only going to end up helping you.
That was a message.
Really quick. I know we talk all the time about giving value, but for all of you, like if they were to join Chamber of Commerce this month, like what are some things they can do to actually be valuable to the members and the organization there? Because I think we hear it as a buzz phrase, but I don't know if many people have a framework to actually be helpful or valuable. What would you do if you were starting a new business and you joined? What would be like the first 3 things you would try to do to give the most value to the members there?
You mean to give a value to the business, the new member who's joining the chamber, or for them to give value to the U.S. Chamber? Because those are 2 different questions.
No, to give value to the chamber, because I think you have to give first in order to be able to receive.
That's right. Listen, brother, one of the things that, in terms of giving value to the chamber, that we have to be smart and do more of is show up in these policy conversations. I mean, I testify on Capitol Hill all the time. And in fact, I'm there this week meeting with the Congressional Black Caucus. And we don't have enough of us who are showing up on the policy side of this work. Again, I would argue because, oftentimes, I'm looking for us to show up and trying to beg folks to come in and meet with the White House on some of these regulatory policies, on tax issues and things that shape how successful we are or not, on international trade agreements. Again, I don't know that we've been exposed to that, but we need more of us to show up in these rooms that literally, I watch it. I mean, I've done a lot. This has been my career. These rooms, whether it's on Capitol Hill or in your state legislatures, in committees, this is where you can be made or you can be broken, because this is where the policy is made. The regulations are advanced and promulgated that shape business success in America. And so we need more people to show up. That's how you can contribute in helping the chamber. And certainly the work that I do is being a part of that dialogue, taking time to understand the issues that affect your company on the political, the policy side, and also how that extends into the politics, because our vote matters when we can align our vote with our economic challenges and our economic opportunities. I don't know that we ask our candidates and elected officials the right questions. And so even on the political side, which, again, I come from as well, we got to really advance an agenda and be a part of the agenda that supports the growth of Black businesses and our economic opportunity and closing this wealth gap. So we got to show up.
So I just want to stay right there for the regulation and policies, because, I mean, being a part of the commerce, the future of work is changing, right? And so if we look at the landscape, I wonder how you guys view it or how you're addressing the changes that are coming from technology. Are you viewing it as an opportunity, or is it more of a detriment to say, like, we need to be careful, need to have security around the future of work in regards to AI, generative AI, automation? How is the commerce seeing this?
Well, I mean, obviously, AI and technology and in terms of the future work is an extremely important issue to the private sector generally, and it's viewed more of an asset than a liability. But I think for African Americans in particular, and the research has proven, we have to be really concerned about the impact of AI and technology in displacing workers. What does that mean? That means we got to think about, do we have the skills to compete for these technology-driven jobs of the future? And that means rethinking even the curriculums from K through 12 to HBCUs and preparing our young workforce for these jobs that are going to be at a minimum automated or technology types of jobs. I don't know what won't be driven by technology. And one of the areas that I'm focused on that as you think about this, the millions of people without jobs and millions of jobs without people, is second chance hiring. I'm doing a lot around that. How do we get those who've been formerly incarcerated back into our workforce? So that's a big priority within my department at the chamber, whether it's the policies or getting more companies to make commitments to give people a second or a third or a fourth chance in this case. I mean, just because you had a conviction in a minor crime ought not prevent you from getting the job, especially in a time when, again, there are millions of jobs without people and millions of people without jobs. So workforce is just a big issue, but the technology piece is front and center. And we have to be a part of that in terms of making sure we have the skills to be able to compete for those jobs.